Good evening, viewers, and this is your edition of The Link this week. We continue to give you information that you can use. Things that you need to know that will help you in your operation, in your business especially, but also by extension in your life, business, economic, and financial life. Tonight, my guest is Dr. George Ssonko. He's the head of consumer empowerment in Bank of Uganda. Now you're wondering, why have you brought the man from Bank of Uganda? We want to talk about your relationship with the commercial banks and the central bank. Tonight, how can the central bank be of help to you? In what way? And I'll ask the first question. George, by the way, welcome.
Yes, thank you, Sam.
First question. I know that central bank has a mandate to generally safeguard our money, which we put in the banks.
Yes.
But then there's this new thing called the, what do they call it? The Deposit Protection Fund.
Yes.
And yet there's also central bank.
Yes.
How do you two work together? Deposit fund is supposed to protect my money, but also you are supposed to protect my money. So how do you work together?
The way we work together is twofold. Of course, the central bank is mandated with the supervision and regulation of the financial institutions. So what happens is that at the end of the day, we shall ensure that when the financial institution is in operation, we shall, at the end of the day, get that this financial institution does not collapse, or if it has to be resolved out of the system, it is resolved in a solid way so that no one loses their money. So that's the role of the central bank at one end. But also we recognize that some things might be inevitable, either due to governance issues. We find that we have to resolve a financial institution. So what we did, and this came in as early as the Financial Institutions Act of 2004, we created an insurance scheme for all the money that is kept in our commercial banks, micro deposit taking institutions, and credit institutions. So once you have your money in any of these institutions, then you can be rest assured that you are insured to the tune of 10 million. So when in 2016 the Financial Institutions Amendment Act came in, we saw that this institution that had been held, or this insurance scheme that had been held at the central bank, was now created as an independent, separate entity that can be used to do exactly the same job. And currently, we are talking about deposit protection of each account that you have in a financial institution supervised by Bank of Uganda, being issued up to the tune of 10 million Uganda shillings. So when the bank has to close, we can give you up to a maximum of 10 million before any liquidation process does take place. And of course, currently you've had people being asked to renew their information at the financial institution, their NIN, taking in their NIN and all these things. This is the role we are doing with the Deposit Protection Fund, to be able to ensure that if we reach that place of paying out, we are sure we are paying George or Sam for that amount of money. So that's why you're asking for that national identification number, so that we are sure George Wilson Ssonko is the owner of this account, and they have given us an alternative channel through which we can pay them should we reach that level of liquidation. So it's what I call a symbiotic relationship between the central bank and the Deposit Protection Fund.
Are you the one who supervises them?
No, we do not supervise the Deposit Protection Fund. It's an independent entity created by an act of parliament, and it reports directly, or it's under, it has, first of all, it has different management, it has a different board of directors, and just like us, it channels its policy issues, if it has to go before parliament, via the Ministry of Finance, Planning and Economic Development.
That's interesting. Somehow people thought out there that they might be under you, but we'll come back to that issue. Because of time, let's move on. So outside deposits, in what situations can I, as a bank customer, run to you, the central bank, for redress if a bank is messing around with me?
Of course, the relationship between you and the bank is something we value a lot. So one of the things we always say that before you come to the regulator, who is the central bank in this case, first start with your commercial bank itself. To say, yes, Sam, you're the commercial bank and I'm the consumer. I'll come and tell you, Sam, I think you computed my interest wrongly. So I need you to look at this interest once again. And I always recommend that we actually or take the initiative and write to the commercial bank, because that leaves a trail.
Put it in writing.
Yes, put it in writing and let the commercial bank receive it. Keep a copy. It's just good practice that you keep a record.
Yeah.
So if at the end of 14 days you receive an answer or an explanation you're not satisfied with, then you are okay to actually come to the central bank and say, I was at my commercial bank X, and when I raised this complaint, they did not give me a satisfactory explanation, or even after 14 calendar days, they have not bothered to actually get back to me. So I need you to actually come in and intervene in this matter and help us get to the bottom of this. And we've been doing this for quite a while. It started out in 2011, and we've been doing it for quite a long time. But what we did in 2017 was to consolidate and create a one-stop center. We had a number of people who were dealing with it, and the external people were having a problem with that. So in 2017, we decided to create a one-stop center, and that's the section, or that's the unit I was talking about, the Consumer Empowerment Unit, that exactly does that job.
So I know there could be many issues.
Yes.
But what are the common things you encounter that people would be having issues with the banks that I may not know, I may think this is a small issue, I shouldn't go to the central bank, yet I should come. Give me some examples of issues that can bring you to the bank.
Some of the things, and I need to say this, we are now also, after the National Payments Act was passed, we are also the regulators of mobile money. So from issues to do with mobile money, to issues to do with your accounts in the traditional brick and mortar financial institutions, to issues to do with the issues of money remittance. So all those are issues that we look at. And in terms of where the most complaints, of course, most of the complaints are from the digital financial services, the mobile monies of this world. I was using an ATM, my card was swallowed. I was using an ATM, it didn't generate money. So most of our complaints, both those ones that are resolved at the financial institution level, but even those that come to the central bank, most of them are in that space of digital financial services, partly because people are just getting to terms with this. I mean, if we looked back at this country, we started automating systems in 1998. Yeah. So it is a relatively short, it's very recent. So that problem, the learning curve is taking a while for people to catch up. So we see a number of problems in the digital financial services.
And I can share my challenge I had with the bank. I want to mention it so they don't become unhappy. I borrowed small money and I paid it back. And instead of clearing me with the credit reference bureau, they kept me as if I've not paid. So when I moved to another bank and I was wanting another small money, this bank was telling me, you have not paid your money. You have not cleared the debt with the other bank. I went back and told them, guys, sort me out. They were tossing me up and down until I told them, I am going to report it to Bank of Uganda.
Yeah, I mean, even that, I mean, some of them are really human errors. The person is supposed to fill in the compliance form to CRB, takes up, or for whatever reason forgets to fill it in. So that information is not updated, but that should not disadvantage you. At the point when you cleared your loan, should you have any issues, you should be able to raise that with us, so that at the end of the day, we also supervise the Credit Reference Bureau. So we should be able to talk to either CompScan or Metropole to be able to say, guys, this happened, we need this resolved, and we could reconcile with the commercial bank, and your record is clean. Because to us, the credit record is very key for you so that it doesn't get any messed up.
Our last question tonight, George. So I feel I have to come to the central bank.
Yes.
But the central bank building is intimidating.
Yes.
There is security, they check you, they take your pictures. So tell me, how do I do it anyway? Take me through. That is my own experience.
Yeah, oh, okay. So, I mean, if you can come directly to the central bank or to any of our branches. We have a number of branches. We have 9, and we also have a currency technical center in Lira. So you can come to a number of these places, in Bali, wherever, and lodge your complaint depending on where you are, or you can come to the headquarters. But if you're a person who is afraid of the building, which you shouldn't ideally be afraid of, you can send us an email. You can send us an email, and the email is very simple. It is FCEM.
FCEM?
Yes, at bou.or.ug. So it is FCEM. So it's that simple. So it's so that people can remember it easily. Drop us an email, and we shall be able to serve you as we would have served the person who walked in physically. You can also give us a call, and we shall be able to take your complaint, document it, and start the resolution process. So there are a number of ways within which you can actually contact the central bank with that. So what am I saying to the Ugandans? Don't sit there with your problem. You fail to reconcile with your commercial bank and you don't walk into the central bank. So that at the end of the day, you enjoy the financial system which has been created to boost the economic growth.
In 1 minute, George. So what kind of help do I expect when I come to you? Because sometimes people come and say, tongue in cheek, how will they really help me?
Yeah, there are two sets of help you'll get from us, really. The first one is, of course, we shall help you get to the bottom, the facts. We shall get you the facts, okay? And then secondly, we shall mediate between you and your commercial bank at no cost. So no one should tell you, you should pay us 100,000. No, no cost. We shall mediate between you and your commercial bank, and then you'll get the resolution you are looking for. Okay,
thank you very much, George. Viewers, you have a problem, go to the bank first. If you're not happy, go to the central bank. The email is FCEM, even me, I know it. FCEM at BOU.or.ug. Yes. And go to the central bank to help you with your consumer issues. And there is a document called Consumer Protection Guidelines on the BOU, Bank of Uganda website. If you go there, you'll find your rights so that banks do not trample over you as you get services. That was the link tonight. I hope you benefited. Thank you for joining us.